everybody, and welcome to the Tennessee State Museum and Storytime with Miss Morgan. I'm so happy to see everyone today. So it's a little bit different. It's not just Storytime here at the museum. We're actually partnering with the Discovery Center for their STEAM Festival. So STEAM is really cool because it involves things like science and math and art and music. And so that got me to thinking, what are some cool science things we have at the Tennessee State Museum? And one of my favorites is actually one of our smallest artifacts. It's our moon rock. It's so cool. And after we read, I'm going to stick it up on the screen so you guys can see it too. Plus, if you come to visit us, you can see it in real life. So I think it's really cool because it's a little tiny rocket that came all the way from the moon. And next to it is a state flag, and it went to the moon too. I just thought that's really cool. So that got me to thinking, what fun space books do I have that I could read to my friends? And I remember this one. My coworker, Mr. Matthew, he read this as a little boy, and he told me about it, and I thought it was the funnest book, so I thought I would share it with you guys. So let's check our schedule. It's time for story time. So if you guys are ready, sit up straight, and let's go. Dogs in space. Space dogs blast off from Earth for the Great Solar System Tour. Their first stop is Mercury, the planet closest to the sun. Ouch! It's too hot on Mercury for dogs in space. The sun is so strong that dogs in space need sunglasses. And there's no one home, so dogs in space race to Venus. But it's even hotter on the planet Venus, and stuffy too. And there's no one home on Venus, so dogs in space fly to Mars, the red planet. Achoo! Dogs in space sneeze red dust on the planet Mars. There's no one home on Mars either, so dogs in space head towards giant Jupiter. You see the red dust? We call Mars the red planet, and that's why. Dogs in space have a long way to go. They have to pass through the asteroid belt. Dogs in space dodge asteroids on their way to Jupiter. Oh my goodness, say watch out, dogs. The wind blows hard on the planet Jupiter. Dogs in space fly kites there, but there's no one home on Jupiter, so dogs in space zoom to Saturn. Whoa, look at those rings. Dogs in space play hide and seek among the 18 moons of Saturn. But there's no one home to play with on the planet Saturn, so dogs in space tear off to Uranus and to Neptune. Uranus is the one tipped on its side. Oh my goodness, you guys look. It is on its side. How cool is that? And it has a ring too. Dogs in space spin sideways on the planet Uranus. Whee! The planet Neptune is so cold. Dogs in space need heavy sweaters. And there's no one home on Uranus or Neptune, so dogs in space soar all the way to Pluto, the smallest planet. There is very little light on Pluto. Dogs in space are far from the sun. They are very near the edge of the solar system where it is cold and dark and lonely. Even though there are no other dogs in space, or people either, dogs in space like space. There are no cats in space. There are no fleas in space. Dogs in space can shed hair in zero gravity. But there are no soft laps in space, no crunchy dog bones, and no warm fires. And there is no one to play with, so dogs in space go home for now. I love that book. And what planet is this? Let me hear you say it. Earth. Good job, you guys. And look, there's North America. We live kind of right there. I just think this is the funnest book because I think dogs in space is just a funny idea. Can you imagine dogs and cats in space? What animal would you like to see in space? I think a red panda in space, or maybe a T-Rex in space. That'd be kind of fun. So let's check our schedule. All right, it's time for our activity. So, since this is the STEAM Festival, we're gonna make moon dough. So for moon dough, you need cornstarch and conditioner. So what you're gonna do is you'll probably need the help of an adult or maybe an older sibling or maybe your neighbor or a friend, because you'll need to get down some measuring cups and you'll use your hands. So it could be a little messy. So before we do this, before my hands get all messy, let's talk about our artifact really fast because I think you guys are gonna like it. So if you look right here, do you see our fun artifact? Here's our moon rock. How cool is that? So if you come to visit us here at the Tennessee State Museum, you can actually see it in person. It's upstairs in the gallery called Tennessee Transforms. It's actually next to a flight suit that belonged to an astronaut who was from Tennessee. I think that is so cool. So if you guys are ready, let's do our science experiment. So I thought, since we saw that moon rock, why don't we make moon dough? So you're gonna need some cornstarch and some conditioner. That's it. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, which means we're gonna use 1 cup of cornstarch. So go ahead and put that in there. Woo! And then we're gonna use a 1/2 cup of conditioner. I am just making a big old mess over here. But that's one of the fun things I love about doing science experiments, is that you can get messy. So let's go ahead and pull back my hair. I always like to do that when I'm doing a science experiment. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna first just start by stirring it up, like this. And sometimes your moon dough might be too sticky. So that means you just need to add some more cornstarch. Or if it's too runny, it means you might need to add some more conditioner. So what we're gonna do, we started stirring up, so let's start with our hands like this. So see how mine's a little too sticky? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more cornstarch. This is always also why I probably need an assistant here. But we'll just add a little bit more cornstarch. Whoa. So that's the fun thing about science, guys. You just kind of go with the roll because you just never know how it's gonna work. So you're gonna keep on until you start to form a dough. So see how this is becoming a dough? It's gonna be very much like Play-Doh. So that's the consistency you're looking for. So you're just gonna keep on kneading it. That's what it's called, we're kneading it. And eventually what we're gonna do is we're gonna get to our moon dough. So here is what it looks like. Oh yeah, and what's nice and kind of fun is you can add food coloring and make your moon dough blue or red or yellow or purple. Mine's just white because I didn't add any. So see our moon dough? It's very much like Play-Doh. And now you have some super awesome moon dough. Now this stuff, you guys, is not edible, so don't eat it. I know we use cornstarch and we do eat cornstarch, but we definitely don't want to eat conditioner because that would not make our tummies feel good. And so your moon dough is a lot like Play-Doh, so if you just leave it out, it's gonna dry. So what you can do is when you get done making your dough, you can play with it and then just put it inside of a Ziploc bag, and it should last about 3 to 4 days. That's usually how long when I've made it before it's lasted. So here is your moon dough. Look at that. How fun is this? And so you can make all kinds of fun things. It's just like Play-Doh. So I hope you guys have fun. Let's see, maybe I can make, oh, here we go. It's the moon. So I hope you guys have fun making your moon dough. Enjoy the STEAM Festival, and you know what? We'll hopefully see you here at the Tennessee State Museum. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.